Hi, I'm Lorene from LoreneDavies.com, and I want to share a story with you that definitely changed my life 5 years ago, and I'm hoping it'll impact you and it'll influence you to make a decision and empower yourself. So here's how it goes. About 5 years ago, I was introduced to a national fitness expert. I had joined a high-end mastermind, wanted to get myself in better shape, and wanted to really up my game, and so I was suggested or recommended to work one-on-one with a fitness expert. She had a TV show and was well known, and I thought, oh good, I'm going to get answers, I'm going to get the secret sauce, I'm going to get the solutions I've been looking for. And as a result, fast forward, we did quite a few tests. We did every test I could possibly think of to have an assessment and know where my health was. And from the test results, I was encouraged to do natural hormone replacement, which I had for quite some time resisted. And through several lengthy conversations and some homework, I acquiesced and decided, okay, I'll go with this. And I did. So 2.5 months later, after following the program, using the natural hormone replacements, adding CrossFit into my regimen and doing quite a bit, interesting thing was I was losing energy big time, and I was gaining weight, which was the complete opposite of what was supposed to happen, and couldn't figure out what was going on. I was encouraged to stay with the program. This is just part of it, and you'll even out, things will get better. So I did stick with it and continued to use the hormones and everything else. Well, 2.5 months later after that, I had zero energy. I'd had to quit CrossFit. I'd had to actually quit my Bikram yoga practice, which had been such an important part of my life for a few years. And I was dragging. I couldn't figure out what was wrong. After seeing a bunch of healers, naturopaths, nobody could suggest what was wrong. Well, as fate would have it, as divine intervention took place, I actually I found an article that told a story about a woman who had fluoride poisoning. And as I read her story, I was reading my own story. Foggy thinking, zero energy, not sleeping well, couldn't function really at maximum. And every cell in my body was saying, ding, 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 this is it, this is it, this is it. The challenge for me at that point was my energy was so low, I couldn't really, I couldn't get a read on myself. Well, I knew what I knew about how my intuition speaks to me. I knew that I had really come onto something, and so I started doing a lot of research and began to find how to unwind the fluoride poisoning, because in fact that was what was going on for me. I had fluoride poisoning, and come to find out, the natural hormones, the base of those hormones, the compound that was used for them was fluoride based. And the irony of that is it's hilarious actually when I think about it, because as I look back, there are several lessons I've learned. And number one is that I disregarded my own intuitive knowing and went with the expert rather than what I knew inside. And secondly, and this is the point that I want to share with you, is that when my energy was so low and I knew that I needed to find answers, I needed to tune into my own guidance system, I began using my pendulum every day, which I'd used some more. I used muscle testing, but in this case, my energy was so low, I couldn't access it. And so my pendulum became my best friend. I carried it with me everywhere and used it to decide what to eat, what to drink, what supplements to take, and what activities to begin to restore my health. It was a key part of really being empowered to reclaim my health. Now, there's more to the story, of course. And the point of this is that it's time for me to teach others how to use the pendulum and how to be empowered for their own good and for their own health. And in addition to that, there's lots of other uses for pendulums, to the point where the Pentagon uses pendulums, the US Marines, the Navy. Over in Europe, there is an entire science around pendulum use. And there is much, much to learn. It's simple, it's easy. It's actually easier than muscle testing, believe it or not, because it gives you leverage and it's easy to read, which is why for me at that time when I was so ill, it made such a difference. And so I'm inviting you to join me in the pendulum usage class. It's called The Science, Skill, and Art of Pendulum Usage, and it will be taking place very shortly. You're invited to join me to learn and to empower yourself. I figure if it's good enough for the US government and for governments and institutions across the world, it's good enough for us to be empowered, to be able to tap in and tune in, get our answers, and also to be able to adjust as time goes by. How to adjust our essential oil usage or our supplementation or the regimen that we're following to improve our health, whatever it might be. And there's far more uses for a pendulum beyond health. So join me, if you will. Check it out at LoreneDavies.com. When you get to LoreneDavies.com, hover your cursor over Tools for Transformation and click on Pendulum Usage. I look forward to seeing you there.